Hey, second grade. This week for math, we are going to be taking our final look at time. And to wrap up this whole unit of study, we're going to be looking at elapsed time. And all that means is we're looking at how much time will pass between one time and the next time. Let's jump right into it. We're in book 2B on page 150. So feel free to pause the video and get your books out. Right on this page, we start with a time and end with another time. So it looks like the start time for this is 9 o'clock a.m. Ending time is 10 o'clock a.m. We're looking to see what changes. Do any of the minutes change? From 0 to 0? Nope. Looks like our hour does change between 9 and 10, but by how much? So it is 1 hour. That's how much the lesson time was. 10 a.m. is 1 hour after 9 o'clock a.m. Or you can flip it and use, instead of the word after, before, and flip the times. 9 o'clock a.m. is 1 hour before 10 o'clock a.m. And over on this side, we're looking at Jan. And Jan got on the school bus at 3 o'clock p.m. and reached home at 3:30 p.m. So now we want to know how long was that bus ride. So we have our start time right here, 3 o'clock p.m. and our end time, 3:30 p.m. Now, when we start getting into these half-hour time increments, or even smaller, when we're starting to do 5-minute increments, it'd be really helpful for you guys to use your clocks at home. So go ahead, get your clock out, and you can recreate these times to see what happens. So I'm going to create my first time, and my clock's a little bit different than yours, but not a whole lot different. So I've got my first time right here, being 3 o'clock. And now we want to figure out how much time has passed if our minute hand gets down to the 6. So that would be 3:30. All right. So we can use our minute hand and count it out. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and then 30. Right there at the bottom. 30. So on that one, we can say that 30 minutes has been taken for that whole bus ride. And we can say at 3:30 p.m. is 30 minutes after 3 o'clock p.m. Or flip it again. 3 o'clock p.m. is 30 minutes before 3:30 p.m. Right, now we're on page 152. We're going to do a couple of problems together, and then you're going to have plenty that you can work on yourselves. All right. Pat and his family arrived at the park at 10 o'clock a.m. So we have a start time and an ending time. So this is 10 o'clock a.m. We know that for sure. But we need to know what time they left. So let's look at our new clock. You can see the hour hand is now at the 11. Minute hand's up at the o'clock, the 12. So we can say for this first part that they left at, 11 o'clock, right? They left at 11 o'clock. They spent blank at the park. Now we're not talking money, we're talking time. How long did they spend at the park? So looking at your start and end time, look and see what changed. Did your minute hand change? No, it stayed at the o'clocks. All right, so what did change? The hour changed by 1. It went up from the 10 to the 11. So they spent 1 hour at the park. 10 a.m. is 1 hour before 11 o'clock a.m. Blank is 1 hour after blank. So then we can say 11 o'clock a.m. is 1 hour after our start time, which was 10 o'clock a.m. There, that's that one. Now let's move on to Sam, who fell asleep at 5 o'clock p.m. He's a little tired after school. Maybe he was running around outside before that. He woke up after 30 minutes or half an hour. I bet some of you are wondering why I had that at the top of my page right here. Half an hour. They just told us how long that is. It's half of 1 hour. And the halfway point is always down here at the 30-minute mark, which is, go figure, half of the clock, right? So that is half of your hour, or 30 minutes. So whenever you say, or you hear someone say, you got to wait a half an hour, they really mean half an hour, which is 30 minutes. All right. He woke up after 30 minutes or half an hour. So we have our start time of 5 o'clock, and we have a new end time as well after he woke up, right? 5 o'clock p.m. is 30 minutes or half an hour before, what's our end time? Which is the same as the time he woke up. 5:30, right? 5:30 a.m. or p.m. You're right, it's p.m. because that's what we're working with this problem. Blank is 30 minutes or half an hour after 5:30 p.m. So we want to know what's after it. So 5:30. Again, 5:30 p.m. is 30 minutes or half an hour after 5 o'clock p.m. Awesome sauce. All right, now we just have some word problems. So let's look at them. Let's go to a new page. 1 hour after 8 o'clock p.m. So let's put 8 o'clock on our clock. And we want to know what 1 hour after that is going to be. So we're not using the minute hand at all. You can use the minute hand to help you get around, but what's the only thing that's changing? We just want to know 1 hour. So let's move it up an hour. I've got my new o'clock time. I think it's 9 o'clock. So number 3 is 9 o'clock. AM or PM? We're using PM for this one, so the answer is PM. Make sure you're using those morning and night terms in here. 1 hour before 4 o'clock p.m. So now we're using the word before, which means in the past, right? So let's put 4 o'clock on our clock right here. We want to know 1 hour before. So we're not going forward in time. We're going backward in time. We're not changing any of the minutes, just the hour, so we can go right back. It changed by 1 hour. So our new time is 3 o'clock. And make sure you're using the correct term, AM or PM. It'll be 3 o'clock PM. All right, we'll do a couple more, then we are done here. 30 minutes after 2 o'clock AM. Hopefully you guys are sleeping at this time. So let's put 2 o'clock on our clock. And we want to know what 30 minutes after 2 o'clock is. So after would be in the future. So let's do it. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. We have our new time. 30 minutes after 2 o'clock is going to be 2:30. Ooh, right there. 2:30. Sorry, kept that out of the camera. So number 5 would be 2:30. And this is in the morning. So past midnight. You are hopefully sleeping. AM. All right, let's move down to number 8 now. Get things moving along. Half an hour after noon. Ooh, think about this one. What is half an hour mean? It means 30 minutes, or half of that 1 hour, which is 30 minutes. So we want to know what 30 minutes after noon is. So let's line up our clock again. So noon time has our hour hand at the top, minute hand at the top. We are at high noon. We need to know 30 minutes after this time, so count it out. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Now, we don't say noon 30. Some people might say that. This time would be 12:30. It's interesting that they use the term noon in here. So let's not be saying noon 30, not quite a time. Let's go ahead and say the correct time, which is 12:30. And is that going to be AM or PM? $12:30 Anytime after noontime, before midnight, is PM. Now, if you're doing a half hour before noon, noon is the start of PM. If you go in the past, let's do that really quick. I didn't want to do this problem. I'm going to do it anyway. So you're at noontime and you're doing 30 minutes in the past. You have to count back those 30 minutes. So we're counting backwards. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. It's actually a really good problem to do. I like this one. So we just did 30 minutes before noontime. Our hour has changed because it's no longer 12 o'clock. We went back in time. It's 11:30. We're down at the 30 mark at the bottom. So I'll sneak that one in there, number 7. I like that one. So that one is 11:30 a.m. or p.m. If it's before noontime and after midnight, you're in the morning still. So that would be an a.m. Good. I'm glad we didn't skip that one. That was a really good one. I like that. Second grade. So that does it for today's lesson. If you need any help, if you're confused by anything that you're doing for your assignment today, come back to this video, rewatch it one more time, and make sure you're using your small Judy at home. It'll be super helpful for telling time when we're doing elapsed times between two times. All right. Have a great day, everybody. You got this.